Mr. L live and that boy leveled. Boy leveled. Boy leveled. Mr. L live and that boy leveled. Boy leveled. Boy leveled. Mr. L live. Mr. L live and that Mr. L live and that boy leveled. Boy leveled. Boy leveled. Mr. L live and that boy leveled. Boy leveled. What's up, people? It's your boy Levelhead back with my partner,
Mr. L08.
And we back to do this Live and Level Gamers podcast. Yes, that's right. Your boy, Mr. L08, is back on the MIC. We're about to do it big in this show. First of all, been a lot of things going on. Black Friday has just passed, so we are here to talk about a few things, something that popped up in my thoughts at work today. So I hit up Live. I hit up a few other people. I think Red Knight might jump into this podcast a little later if he gets freed up. But we want to talk about something that's been on my mind that as a gamer and a Nintendo fan, I wanted to talk about. So my boy said he'd jump on because he ready to go. And I told y'all, let's get this out. You know what I'm saying, Live. Let's let them know. We still do Live and Level. It's not level. It's not level minus live. The name of the show is Live and Level. If I was going to not have live on it anymore, then I'd change the name of the show. Me and Live communicate off Skype, and off these podcasts, we actually communicate on a one-on-one basis. That's we deal like that. So because you don't see him on the podcast, don't mean that we don't deal. We deal. So I knew what was going on and why he wasn't on, and for some of the same reasons I wasn't on, just too busy. And but he's here, so go ahead and reintroduce yourself to everybody, man. Let them know what you've been on and what you're doing, man.
Oh, well, if you guys didn't know, I'm Mr. L0908, fellow YouTuber. I'm a Nintendo fan. I play video games. I like playing video games. So. But lately, I really haven't been playing anything. So, I'm trying to decide on what I want to get. Hey, do I want to get me? I know I want to get Smash and get a Wii U back over again, and I know I want to get an Xbox One. So I'll be back. Back on the grind again. But as everybody knows, sometimes life, and family things, take you away from YouTube and, other entertainments, and stuff like that.
Right.
So, but that's basically about it. I just been, chilling, just, reading articles, looking at current events, that's going on in the video game world, and stuff like that. So, I'm just because I don't make videos anymore, doesn't mean I don't know what's going on in the video game world.
Right.
And when it gets to that point again, I will start making videos again.
Okay.
But it just hasn't got to that point yet.
Okay. So, like you said, life causes you to have to step away from things and handle real things, So, anything else you want to say?
Nah, that's it, man.
Okay. Well, I mean, the same thing for me, man. As far as the YouTube stuff, man, like I said, I really enjoy it. But at the same time, here for the last few months, just other things have, in my real day-to-day world, has been pressing and pulling me away from being able to do YouTube like I want to. But being older and having more responsibilities, that's what you got to do sometimes. So again, like my boy Live was saying, life is life, and that's you can't change that. So, but you said you ain't been gaming on anything. You said you thinking about getting either the Xbox One or the Wii U?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I was gonna ask you what you're gaming on, so you pretty much answered that. I'm still gaming on that Wii U with the Smash Bros. I'm thoroughly enjoying that game. And like I was telling you before we got to talking in the podcast, this Smash has been a little different. Has been a better experience with Smash for me than the other versions. I liked the very first Smash on the 64. I liked Melee a lot on the GameCube. I wish they'd bring back the ice climbers. I wish they'd bring them back. But the version on the Wii, I didn't really enjoy a lot, and I really didn't know why. But I guess because I was used to having my brothers and my friends all hanging out, playing down in the basement at the crib and things like that. But on the Wii version, all my friends and my brother, them, we older, have different lives, doing different things, don't have the time to gather together on the couch and be in one room at one time. And it's the same thing that kind of happened even with Super Mario Kart on the Wii, Mario Kart Wii. The same thing happened. I enjoyed it, but it was a different feeling because the way I enjoyed those other smashes and the other Double Dash on the GameCube was because at that time, me and my brother and a couple of my friends, where we would get together and be in one spot, one location, just going ham at these games, laughing and enjoying ourselves. But on the Wii, I'm older, fiance to marriage, kids now, and I didn't have that freedom to get up with my boys like that anymore. So it kind of became a solo dolo experience, and I wasn't enjoying it. So with this one, I don't know. I believe because the online is better. I've been thoroughly enjoying this one more so than the other ones, man. So I'm enjoying this Smash Bros. But I think it's one, if I know you said you want to get it, I think there'll be one you will want to get, man. I think you would thoroughly enjoy it. I think as far as the graphics is there, the speed is there. I mean, I really have an experience online that's draggy, but it does happen. But I'm using Wi-Fi, so there's a part of not having the LAN adapter or whatever it is. So but for the most part, it's eons beyond the Wii's online experience. But we gonna get into all this in a second. But yeah, I've been playing that Smash. I pretty much have beat Bayonetta 2. I'm at the last boss. I could have beat him, but I didn't. But by that time I was on something else, and then Smash came out, so I've been playing that. But I'm gonna jump back on that Bayonetta 2 and finish that off. Also, this what happened. I bought the DLC or the add-on content for Mario Kart 8, and I've been playing as Link and all that. So I've been gaming, but that Smash has pretty much been what I've been on here for the last, I would say, the day before Thanksgiving, because I didn't get it on lunch night, but I did get it the day before Thanksgiving, and I've been going ham on it ever since. So I'm thoroughly enjoying it, man.
I know that's right.
So, but anyway, bro, there's been a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things we could talk about, but we don't want to be, and it's something people laugh at me every time I say it because we end up going longer when I say it. But I'm going to say it, and we're going to stay honest to it. We're not going to be long on this podcast. Anyway, there's a lot of things we could talk about, but we want to hit on a few things and one main topic. And hopefully, Red Knight, if he show up, like I said, we could pick this up at another date and really go in with more minds and more thoughts. But with you being back, it's nice to just sit here and talk back and forth with the original duel, live and level. So we gonna do it big, man. So anyway, Black Friday has just passed, and a lot of the sales numbers and figures is coming out, and it looks like the Xbox One has pretty much dominated Black Friday and has dominated for pretty much the last month and a few weeks. In second place was the PlayStation 4. In third place was the Xbox 360. In fourth place was the Wii U. And in fifth place was the PlayStation 3. Now, I want to get your thoughts, and I'll chime in when you let your thoughts out. How do you feel about how the Xbox and Microsoft, the moves that they made with the price cuts, even going even lower by $30 by $20 on Black Friday from $349 to $329 for Black Friday? How do you what's your thoughts on Microsoft's moves? Also, what's your thoughts on the PlayStation 4 pretty much non-response to Microsoft move? And we'll go in more thorough later. What's your thoughts on Wii U seemingly not taking advantage of Black Friday with their systems? So let me, answer it in any order that you want to answer, but I'll chime in with you.
Well, number one, I'm gonna talk about the Xbox, One and what Microsoft, did. Kudos goes out to Microsoft for dropping the price and finally dropping the price, finally getting it right and dropping the price to $349, and then turn around dropping it to $329, for Black Friday to still push, some more units. A lot of people money is tight for this holiday season, and for Microsoft to do that, to drop the price, I think that was a good move. I think that was a good move on their behalf. Now, number two, with Sony, Sony still had a good deal. You get the Grand Theft Auto, you get the Last of Us. What are the bundles? You got the Destiny bundle. You getting a lot of value. The Grand Theft Auto or the Last of Us bundle. With those two games in it. And number three for Nintendo. I said this, and I'm gonna say this again. Nintendo should have dropped the price of the Wii U to $249. If they would have dropped it to take the games out, you could have still kept the game in there. Just give away the game, but just drop it by $50. I guarantee you, they would have flew off the shelf. They would have flew off the shelf. But I mean, I don't know the strategy, what, Iwata is thinking about as far as, the U.S. goes,
Okay.
He just started back, putting ads on television, you'll see some ads, here and there, YouTube ads, Nickelodeon on Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network, you'll see some ads, They just started doing that, but they were like, well, I can just get the controller and just play with my Wii. No, you can't do that. It's a whole new system, So, man, that's my points. That's my points about it. But what you think?
Well, I mean, as far as Microsoft goes, I think Microsoft made a bold, very aggressive move that paid off. Now, I was talking to a few guys on Twitter, asked them some questions about did they feel that Microsoft has crack the armor of the dominance of the PlayStation 4. You know, we had that back and forth on Twitter. But it is yet to be seen whether or not Microsoft will catch Sony. I'm thinking in the long run they will. But right now, Microsoft has definitely took the momentum as the system to get, which is, we get into that later. So I like you said, I give kudos to Microsoft and what they're doing. They're being aggressive. They're making smart, you know what I'm saying? They're sacrificing profitability for the sake of getting more hands into more systems into the user hands, and, you know, broaden their user base. So that was smart. As far as Sony, I think Sony is in a position where they feel like they didn't have to do anything because they do have a pretty nice size lead worldwide. I would have liked to see Sony do something more aggressive, but I don't know if Sony's even in the position to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a topic I could have brought this up, but I, you know, trying not to come off as a, you know what I'm saying, basher or a hater. I chose not to, so we didn't make this a topic, but you know what I'm saying? I saw some articles that's talking about Sony basically is at 79% possible for bankruptcy. So, you know, if that's all true and all the accounts of, you know, the Sony, the whole as a organization is really in a bad way, then I don't really see how they could have matched Microsoft in a price cut. So, but by making the PlayStation 4 so appealing to the masses, they have accumulated enough sales over this year that they have in many ways doubled what Microsoft has done in the same span of time. So they had a cushion to play with where they didn't have to respond to Microsoft. But when it comes to Nintendo, I love the fact that they released Smash Bros at this time. Smart move, and it did show itself to be effective. I'm starting to pivot on my thoughts. As you know, I was one that would say, no, I think the price is right. I think it's where it should be. But the more I look at it, the more I think about it. Just for Black Friday, I think a price cut would have been a wise move. Even down to something like a $279 or what you said, a $249, you know, all the way a $50 drop, and maybe take the game out or put one of your earlier games that you're not pushing it now, you know, like maybe a Pikmin or maybe a Lego City or some game or that, you know, has been out for a minute that you don't, you know, mind pushing like that for that price. But overall, I think they all did well, but Microsoft definitely, in my opinion, really did good, and really their strategy really worked out, in my opinion. So that's how I feel about it.
They was the more aggressive.
Yeah, they was very aggressive. So talking about that live, is now the time to get an Xbox One? Is it now the Xbox One's time? You know, the PlayStation 4 was that deal. But now seemingly the momentum has switched, and, you know, especially with this price cut, is it Xbox One time, bro?
I think if you're a Wii U owner, and if you're not a Wii U owner and you don't have the PS4, I think it is time to get an Xbox One. And the reason why I say that is because, number one, the price. I mean, $349. You know, you can't beat that.
Right.
You know, and second of all, you know, if you haven't played, you know, Grand Theft Auto, if you haven't played any of the Halos, you know, that's their top franchise, you know, right there, and you getting all 4 Halos, you know, in the, you know, on one disc, you know, like I said. And, you know, the last thing is, you know, with the features you're going to get, you know, with the Xbox One, you know, with the Snap TV, you know, and the apps and, you know, Skype, you know, and, you know, all that, you know, you're getting all that wrapped up into one, you know, so.
Right.
Me personally, I would say, yeah.
Yeah. Right now, in my opinion, if you was going to get an Xbox One, or if you was even on the fence about which system to get between the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, I would think that, yeah, getting the Xbox One would probably be a wise move. One, right now, they have the better lineup between the two, in my opinion. And in the foreseeable future, they have the better lineup so far. And looking at situations that's going on with Sony, I don't know if it's too late far as right now with Sony, as far as this year, for them to really even match what Microsoft is doing. You know, they got the games. You know, Little Big Planet to me ain't an appealing game. You know, they fumbled Drive Club, and you know, Killzone ain't appealing. You know, Infamous had its run, but right now Microsoft seems, you know, with the Halo and all that out, I just think they have more to offer right now, and at a lower price. So yeah, I think it'll be a wise move. You know, unless you just like what Sony's offer as far as exclusives better. If it's more about a multi-plat issue for you, I don't think the power of the PlayStation 4 is big enough of a wide enough of a difference to make a difference. So yeah, I would think an Xbox One is a wise move.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you get in the game. You get, you know, because they had the Assassin's Creed, which I don't care for Assassin's Creed, but they had the Assassin's Creed bundle for, you know, bundled in. They got the Call of Duty bundle, and then they had the what is that, Overdrive bundle. All these bundled in. These are right now current games, and you know they ain't, you know, like, well, outside of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, but the other two, you know, Unity you can't get on the 360, Overdrive you can't get on the 360. So all those two bundles, you know what I'm saying, is you getting a current game that can only be experienced on either the PlayStation 4, the Xbox One, or PC, and then Overdrive can only be experienced on the Xbox One. Versus a bundle like Destiny, which you can experience on the Xbox One, or Little Big Planet, which you can get on the PlayStation 3. It just seemed like the Xbox One just made a lot of wise moves in the last few months that have slowly but surely got this thing rolling. Now they are steamrolling, and I don't know if it's going to stop, you know, as far as them getting back to the dominance that they were as far as Microsoft in the 360. So yeah, I think right now would be a good time, unless you just love PlayStation 4 exclusive titles, which right now we don't know a lot of those, what those titles are. So that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. You know, we talked about is it time to get an Xbox One? I mean, as far as a Wii U, being a Wii U owner, you know, I'm gonna say that for me, I say that for another podcast, put it like that. I won't reveal that yet. But anyway, if you own a Wii U and you're looking to get another system, I think the Xbox One will be a good addition to the Wii U. But you know, PlayStation 4 ain't no slouch either. So it's a hard decision, but that $349 to $329 is speaking. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that makes the difference.
Right.
That makes the difference.
Money talks, bro. I mean, people need to understand the PlayStation 4 jumped out to the big lead that it jumped out to primarily because the Xbox One was $499. I mean, it wasn't a hard decision. $399, $499. You basically getting the same experience on both systems, you know, maybe but the PlayStation 4 was a little better, and the game multiplats were a little better, or in some cases a lot better on the PlayStation 4. But $100 difference ain't hard to choose between. I mean, let's be real. So now that there's a $50 difference, it's showing money talks. People, it go back to what you said before we start recording. People are into, and you can hit it, you can elaborate on it again, but people are in a crunch time right now. The money ain't long like it used to be. You know, you can go on and pick up where you.
That sure ain't. People money is tight. You know,
right.
You know, if they going, you know, you got to imagine you got $500. You going into, Walmart or Best Buy, and you want to get, your video game system. You know, you want to get, you want to get some games to go along with it too. So, $349 and you getting 2 games. If you're getting the Assassin's Creed bundle, you getting 2 games.
You're getting 2 games, right?
Yeah, and if you luck up and find the Halo bundle, you getting 4 games, in the one, and then, like I said, you got 500. You still can get your game and still have your $100 in your pocket.
Right. So you're right. I mean, and so in my opinion, I mean, and I've been seeing a lot of people, even when they dropped it to $399, and took the Kinect out of the box, I saw a lot of people pick up the Xbox One. A few cats even in this YouTube community, like Mr. T picked it up. I saw Zen Gamer picked it up. So I mean, money talks, and once it came down to where they felt it was affordable and reasonable and worth the price tag, they copped it. Now it's $349. People going out in droves copping it, so it's worth it. But anyway, so let me say this: that was Xbox One. Let's talk about the Wii U. Is the Wii U the system to own this Christmas?
Boy,
that's a hard one.
Hard one right there.
Okay,
that's a hard one because you got Smash, you got Mario Kart, you got 3D World, you got Zelda HD, you got Pikmin 3. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean.
Captain Toad.
Hard.
Got Captain Toad coming out.
Captain Toad. You got Captain Toad.
Bayonetta 2.
You got, I ain't even mentioned that, the game of the year, Bayonetta 2.
Right.
I mean, get me wrong, people. Nintendo is bringing that fire. But man, is it the system to own this holiday season? If Nintendo would have dropped it to $249, if they just would have dropped it to $249, it's hard because you got Xbox One for $349. I spend $49 more dollars. I'ma get all these features in this box.
Right.
Yeah. And then if I go ahead and spend less than $49, I'm still gonna get a good system. It's that I'm giving the head to the Wii U. I'm giving the head to the Wii U because of the games.
Okay.
Because of the games, yeah. I gotta give Nintendo credit. They games, there's no excuse. For people to holler about, well, you ain't got no games. Bull crap. They have the games. Nintendo has the games.
Yeah, they definitely do, man. Okay, I can answer this. I had to answer this question two ways because it's going to lead into what I want to talk about. And like I said, we'll pick it up again later on this week when more voices can drop their opinions. As far as games go, Nintendo to me right now is the system to own this Christmas. I mean,
yeah.
It is nothing on the Microsoft Xbox One. There is nothing on the PlayStation 4 that remotely compares to the games, and they're all exclusive to the Wii U. There's nothing comparing to the roster right now. You named them, but I renamed them. You got, Bayonetta 2. You know, you got your hardcore game there. You got Smash Bros, even a more hardcore, even bigger game. You got Mario Kart 8. Still dominating, you know. Now you got Captain Toad at the end of this week, or some say it's already out. I thought it was coming out this week, but I know it's coming out this week at some point. You got that. You got Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. You got Pikmin 3. You got Wonderful 101. It's a lot of games to be played on the Wii U. Even if you want to throw this in there, I'm not showing Ubisoft any love. Forget that. We're not throwing that in. But you can throw Watch Dogs in there if you foolish enough to go cop it for the Wii U at this point and what they did. But right now, as far as games go, it is without a doubt that Nintendo is the system to own this Christmas. But if you're looking at a long-term investment and a system that's going to get you everything that you're looking for, then it becomes a very hard question to answer. And I want to be real as a Nintendo fan. Of course, I'm going to say, yeah, if I had to choose, if I didn't have neither of these systems, I would go with a Wii U. But that's because I'm a Nintendo fan, so I'm already biased. I'm already leaning towards Nintendo in the first place, so it's not a hard choice for me. But a person that is more neutral, they're coming in, not biased, not leaning towards any system, just looking at the best, what's offering the best experience. If you're just looking at it from a Christmas point of view, yes, the Wii U is that. But if you're looking at, I'm finna drop 300 plus bones, cause even though the Wii U is $299, once you get an extra controller and some more games, cause you're not just gonna go with what's in the box, you're gonna get some more games and different things like that. You're gonna drop upwards of probably $400 when you get done with tax, probably $420. You know what I'm saying? So, with the Xbox One, you're gonna drop $349. You're gonna get an extra controller. You're gonna probably get an extra game. So you're looking at somewhere around $480, $490. So it's an investment. So for as far as an investment, you're looking down the road as well. So down the road, I don't know. Coming in neutral, but this Christmas, in my opinion, yeah, the Wii U would be the system to own this Christmas. But like I said, this Christmas is over after the December 25th. So that's a hard one. That's a hard one. Even for me being a Nintendo fan, I have to be honest. That's a hard one. I have allegiance to Nintendo. That's my preference. So it's easy for me to see, what I'm saying, what Nintendo is offering. Smash, Mario Kart 8, this, that, and the third. Oh yeah, Wii U all day. But if I'm coming in neutral and I don't have no loyalty or anything like that to any Pacific plastic, then I'm looking at other factors. I'm looking at features outside of the gaming, online services, multiplats. What experiences am I going to miss by going this way or that way? Because that's what has me torn between Xbox One or PlayStation 4 is the exclusive that come to each system, features that are on each system. I had to make these decisions because I'm not loyal to neither or. I'm neutral. So you winning me by offering me the best for my buck. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I was listening to the Juice is Loose podcast. Shouts out to them. And something sparked me, man, to talk about this, and I thought I'd jump on here and talk with you on it. Do you feel like Nintendo has allowed the stigma of being a subpar experience compared to the other systems linger too long to the point that a stigma is now becoming, in many minds, a truth? And is it reversible? Can they fix the stigma? Can they fix the perception that many have when it comes to this video game industry? You know, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo. Can Nintendo rebrand itself or correct the perception that it is a lesser experience than either the Sony PlayStation or the Microsoft Xbox brand? Can they fix it? Is it repairable?
To answer that question, to be truthful about it, I think Nintendo has done basically all that they're going to be able to do. You know, they, you know, what people have to understand is when you get a Wii U, it's a different experience. You know, you got a tablet controller, you know, it's dual screens, you know, you don't have to use your television. You can use, you know, the gamepad and play with the gamepad. You know, I know what Nintendo was looking at, you know, far as future wise, you know, hey, everybody's going to have tablets. Everybody's using their cell phones, you know. That's what they was going, that was they was going with. But people, you know, when you have something different, they don't adapt to it, you know, that fast. You know, maybe if it was an add-on, you know, it maybe would have caught on, you know, more quicker. But with the stigma that they have right now, I mean, level, it is what it is.
Well, I mean, I'm even looking beyond. See, and that's why I said I want to pick this back up, even with more voices, because I know Active Red Knight definitely would have something to say about this. Mr. T, he hit me up, but we has already started, so I had to get him on the next time. I know he'll definitely have something to say about this. I know John Shaw will. I know you do. That's why I was happy to get you, at least me and you can dialogue about it prior to all of us dialoguing about it. But I'm even talking beyond Wii U. You know, a lot of Wii U's problems didn't start with the Wii U. It started even before the Wii. The perception and the stigma that has been following Nintendo everything post Super NES. Now I would say this, as far as the N64, I would say the N64 just did, you know, it got out marketed and out hyped by the PlayStation 1. It just did, you know. I feel like the N64 was the better experience, was the better system. But the ease of production for the PlayStation 1, the cheapness of the discs, you know, as far as CD base and all that, it won out, and, you know, Nintendo suffered for sticking with the cartridge. But as far as the experience, there is not one experience as far as the PlayStation 1 that I think would match the top experiences on the N64. But N64, I would say halfway through the N64 era to the GameCube era on, there has been a stigma associated and attached to Nintendo that Nintendo has done little to nothing to remove from them. I think it is a crippling belief that most believe is no longer a created stigma. Now most of the people hold this is true. Nintendo is a kiddie system. Nintendo is a subpar experience, and even though me and you know it's not. Me and you know that these games in many ways are more challenging and more creative than many of the AAA titles that most will boast as the definitive experience. But Nintendo allowed a stigma to permeate and exist not a few years, live, decades. You know what I'm saying? This stigma has been with them for 16, 17 plus years. I mean, so gamers who came in, like, okay, let me say it like this. I started with the NES at the age of 6, 7, somewhere around there. My household was introduced to the NES. Before that, it was an Atari, but my house didn't have one. My cousins them did, but we didn't have one. So when we played, we went over there. I didn't know nothing about it, and my older brother really wasn't into it enough at that time. But we got the NES, so that was my first real gaming experience. Mario and Duck Hunting, Double Dragon, and all that was my first Ninja Gaiden, all those were my first experience. So Nintendo was ingrained in my thoughts. And then when the Super NES came out, it was like arcade overdose. All the big hits at the arcade was now at home. Street Fighters and all the other games, Turtles in Time. Dude, I'm overdosing on Nintendo, and it pretty much was. It was pretty much the PlayStation 2 for Sony. You know what I'm saying? It was that deal. But I remember, and we was talking about this earlier. I remember when not the Dreamcast, but the Genesis came out, and I remember we was on vacation, man, and my pops had a Courage van. Classic, they didn't even make so many of those vans. And it had a TV in it. We heading out of town, and the commercial came on with Holyfield Punch Knockout or something like that, some boxing game with Holyfield and Sonic. You saw all this, and it looked better than anything that I played on the NES. And this is before the Super NES came out, but because I was only familiar with the NES, in my head, and I felt that my pops wasn't gonna get it for me, I created a mindset to make everything on the NES better than the Genesis. So I didn't look to ask for one. And when the Super NES came out, of course, that Christmas, my pops always got us the new NES, so the Super NES came out, I got the Super NES, but my cousin them went from the NES to the Genesis. So I would go over there and they had Sonic 2. And I remember, how I felt playing Sonic 2. And yeah, I was playing Mario, on the Super NES, and I love Mario, but it was something about Sonic 2 that was cool to me. It wasn't necessarily that the gameplay was better, but the music was better. The coolness of Sonic just was better. Now, at this time, I'm 12, 13 years old. So, I'm in that age bracket. So, cool was a factor. You know what I'm saying? Cool was something that we at that time looked for. So, I had to allow my loyalty to Nintendo to usurp the coolness I was feeling playing Sonic or Eternal Champions. There was a fighting game named Eternal Champions they had, and I played that. And I'm not gonna lie, it was like, this is cool, man. But I psyched myself out into, no, Mario cooler. Super Mario World is cooler. Yeah. It's a better game. You got the cape and you can fly. But in the back of my head, as much as I felt like Mario is a better game, Sonic at that time, not now, but Sonic at that time was cooler to me. But over a course of time, you know, Nintendo with Turtles in Time, the experience on Nintendo, Super Nintendo was just better than the Genesis, in my opinion. But I say this to say I missed out on a lot of experiences because of that loyalty to Nintendo. But now that I buy my own systems, other factors play into it. How is this going to bowl down the road? Even though I still buy every Nintendo platform that come out, and I'm still a bigger Nintendo fan than anything else. And it don't matter what they produce, I'm going to buy it. But now I look at it a lot differently, and I'm looking at, man, from the Super, I miss those Super NES days, and that I say, you know, up to Ocarina of Time of 64, I miss all that, but everything beyond that, to me, Nintendo, it seemed like they allowed the masses to create a facade or a stigma or a perception that they did little to reject, did little to offset. They allowed this thing to become what they're known literally for today, which is in ways is crippling them today and hurting them today because they allowed it to linger too long, that kiddie perception, and then the decisions that they make with their systems, you know, not adequately looking into features and how can this help. Like with me with the Wii, one of the worst problems with the Wii was the fact that I couldn't always get people to my house to enjoy these games. So it would come a solo dolo experience all the time where I was used to sitting in front of the TV with the 64 playing GoldenEye, and we all playing GoldenEye in the multiplayer, shooting each other, running through the corridors, shooting each other, or Mario Kart Double Dash, or Smash Bros Melee, and then all the other games we played, Vendetta and Def Jam Vendetta and all those games where we would get around, get 4 controllers and go at it on the 64 and somewhat on the GameCube. But when the Wii came out, I'm older and it's harder to get that together. And the Wii was a fun experience, but it wasn't an experience like Super NES, N64, and somewhat GameCube. You see what I'm saying? So now, when I started playing, my boy K-Bum got me on playing Madden on the PlayStation 3. So I started playing Madden online, and that feeling that I got when me and my brothers and all those would be in the front room or in the basement or in my bedroom, hovered around the TV, I got that same feeling, but it was cause I'm online. I could hear the dude talking and we playing Madden, and it's the same feeling, even though he ain't here or she ain't here in the same room with me. And these aspects, I feel like Nintendo has gone too long without addressing properly. And here we are in the 8th generation of consoles, and even the Wii U is having still some lacking in areas that it shouldn't lack in. And I'm wondering, now that they have allowed this to linger so long, even if they made a new system with people perception, even if they fixed all this in the new system, with the perception usurp the fixes. So, if you can answer that.
I think if they came out with a new system and they fixed the third party and they fixed the voice chat and have a more realistic, just take the blueprint for Xbox Live. That's all you have to do. Take the blueprint from Xbox Live and improve on that, and just put it with Nintendo. That's all you have to do. And I think a lot of people would be happy with the end result.
Right. Well, I mean, it's just something that's been on my thoughts. And like I said, we won't get all through it in this particular podcast, but when we try to come back later on, and hopefully you'll be free to do it when we get some more thoughts in. This is primarily what I want to talk about, because I'm fearing that Nintendo might have allowed the stigma to linger too long, to where, and the reason I say that is, the word nostalgia. Kung Fu. What Mario was like on the NES and the Super NES. About all those hardcore games and that challenge. About Ninja Gaiden. About Street Fighters. All that was found on Nintendo. You and I know about that. But the guys who came in on the PlayStation era and PlayStation 1 up, that's what they look back to. And if you looking back to PlayStation, at that time, Nintendo was considered a kiddie system. And Nintendo from PlayStation on didn't do anything to address the notion that they were a kiddie system. And in some ways, now we know, because our boy Triforce is, we know Nintendo was a family orientated console. That's different than saying kiddie. Family and kiddie is two different things. Instead of offsetting that, like literally campaigning against that notion, in some ways Nintendo embraced it and was successful in some ways, especially with the DS and all in the handheld divisions. They were successful with that notion, but in the handheld they wasn't. And Sony and now Microsoft has capitalized off of now what is termed the hardcore gamer, which is really casual gamers, but casual gamers has taken over and calling themselves hardcore. And Nintendo allowed that hardcore definition to be confiscated by a casual experience. Now the AAA casual experience is considered the hardcore experience, or the maturity of the game or the mature content of the game is considered the hardcore experience, not the gameplay and the challenging aspects of the gameplay. Nintendo allowed a lot of things to be robbed from them and just snatched up away from under their feet, and it seemed like they just kept going, believing that their core fan base is always going to keep them in the race, which we are. But even some of us are detracting and leaving. Some of us are like, I do want online. I do want I do want game chat. I do want the share feature. I do want these multi-plats. And I do love Mario. I do love Zelda. I do love Metroid. But at the same time, I do love Call of Duty. I do love Tomb Raider. I want to experience these too, and I can't experience these games here. So when I get over here, it's like this, Live. It's like a regular cell phone compared to a smartphone.
Yep.
You can call anybody you want to call. You can text anybody you want to text on a regular phone. But once you get a smartphone and you can jump online and you can Skype and you can this and you can that, it's hard to go back to a regular phone that only let you call, text, and different things like that. And some might have a few little features allow you to get on the internet. But an iPhone or a Samsung Galaxy who let you do all these things, that's what once you come accustomed to that, it's hard to go back to limitations. And the only way you're going to go back to limitation if you have what they like to use a nostalgia for what that system or that phone offer you, even with its limitations. So it's real for me. I'm at a crossroads where I'm wondering if Nintendo has allowed this thing to linger too long to where pretty much it is like what you said. It is what it is with them. Even if they make a new system, most would just write it off, because I feel like that's what they did with the Wii U. Write it off as another Nintendo gimmick and not really invest the time to see what the system has to offer. That's my thoughts, man.
Yep.
So you can chime in, bro, because I've been going for a minute. So you can go ahead and, you can talk.
I mean, you pretty much answered, Yeah,
So Yeah, man. Now, so that's why I said this is something I want to bring up, even when we get some more voices in on this on our podcast, and let some more folks chime in, because I believe all of us, I feel like all of us feel this way, even though we don't say it. You know, yeah, I love the fact that Smash is out. Yeah, I love the fact that Mario Kart 8 is out. But at the same time, I scratch my head because it still is not affecting the consumer base. And I'm watching a console that has nothing, literally nothing on it to play right now, still outselling it 3-4 to 1, 4 systems to 1. And it literally is the best package on the shelf. The Wii U is the best package, has the best games, has the most to offer right now, and a system that has literally nothing but maybe Destiny and Infamous, which is old, and still outselling it with a higher price tag, 3 or 4 to 1. That makes me scratch my head. So it's like, this ain't really got nothing to do with games per se, because the system that's selling don't have any games. So it has to do with perception. And if the perception is, this is what's cool, like I was feeling with Sonic, that's a powerful, persuasive, thing that'll cause you to lean one way or the other. If this is considered cool, that feeling is powerful where, man, everybody's on PlayStation 4. Even though I like what I'm seeing with the Wii U, everybody getting the PlayStation 4, I don't want to feel like the eyeball, so let me get the PlayStation 4. And you might not even like it, but you buying it because that's pretty much how the Right, go ahead, my bad.
I mean, everybody else got it, you know?
Right.
That's the perception.
Yeah, that's what's been on my head, man. So, you got anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
That's pretty much it, man.
All right. What I want you guys to do that's listening, I want y'all to leave comments. Actually, hit us up on Twitter. I have that in the descriptions. Leave questions, or any thoughts. I'm going to be reading all the posts, all the comments to see what you think about this topic. And the topic is, has Nintendo allowed the stigma that was placed on them by, journalists, media, and third party and gamers, all of, did they allow the stigma of the kiddie system, the subpar experience, did they allow these things to linger longer than they should have, and did they play into it with their actions instead of trying to get on top of it when they could have? Now it is a part of who they are or what they're known for, even though it's not a truth. It is a truth in many people's mind. Has that permanently damaged Nintendo in the psyches of gamers and the ones that are coming into gaming? Or can Nintendo fix it? That's the question. So leave your comments down in the comment section. Live is back. So how I feel, man, to be back on this first one, man.
Yeah, man, it feels great, man. It feels great just to get some stuff from off my chest that's been on it for a good while. Right.
Man, I apologize for going on a long little soliloquy right there, man, but that's been on my thoughts. And, people wonder why, like me and yourself, don't jump on YouTube, cause the conversation I want to have, probably most don't want to have it. I ain't into the fact that, council wars no more. I don't care. It ain't about who win or who lose. I don't care about that no more. I can buy all three if I want them, But at the same time, when it comes to Nintendo, I am concerned about the perception. I think if anybody own a business, you want to protect your brand and the perception that comes with it. You know what I'm saying? The NFL, the NBA, they work hard at protecting their brand. That's why when Ray Rice got in all that domestic violence, and when old dude from the Vikings got caught up on the, child abuse that was affecting the brand of the NFL, and they quickly got on top of it to cause, to deflect anything that was going to damage is a word I was looking for, but it wouldn't come out, to deflect the onslaught of criticism and scrutiny that was going to come because of what Ray Rice did, or because of what Peter, what's that boy name? The running back. Adrian Peterson did. They were trying to reflect that. They was trying to offset that to protect the brand. You know what I'm saying? When Kobe did his thing and got caught up in that situation, the NBA was trying to protect the brand of the NBA. Sprite dropped him to protect their brand because he was a spokesman for Sprite. They dropped him. Gatorade and all the other ones dropped him. Nike, I think, even dropped him or put him on the shelf. They didn't drop him, but they didn't promote him to protect the brand of Nike. So stigmas and perceptions is real, and it can be detriment to your success in the future if you don't get ahead of damaging perceptions. And I believe Nintendo, as good as they are, as great of developers as they are, and as magical as they are with their games and as creative with their systems, allow the perception and the stigma to permeate too long without reflecting it and countering it. And now people literally believe it, and it ain't even a truth, but it's believed to be and accepted as true in the masses. So that's damaging, man. That's damaging. So with that being said, man, I don't have much else to say. Stay tuned for later on this week. We're going to have some other people jump in with us. I'm going to splice this up because we had some technical difficulties with Skype. I don't know what's going on with Skype. We might have to move over to Google Hangout or something so we can get some more stability.
Yeah.
But with that being said, this is your boy Levelhead and my partner
Mr. L-Live08.
We gonna sign out. Like I said, leave your comments down below. Stay tuned for later on this week. We're gonna have an even bigger roster on the Live and Level Gamers podcast, and we're gonna really get into this discussion of Nintendo. We're gonna talk about Microsoft. We're gonna talk about PlayStation. We might even dump into some other stuff that ain't got nothing to do with gaming, just to see how informed you guys are. Can we talk about Mike Brown Live? Can we get into some stuff like that? Do we always have to talk about games? Anyway, stay tuned, man. You got anything else to say, bro?
Nah, that's it, man. Y'all take it easy.
All right. Deuces.
Mr. L Live and that boy leveled. Mr. L Live and that boy leveled. Mr. L Live, Mr. L Live and that Mr. L Live and that boy leveled. Mr. L Live and that boy leveled.